It's actually quite hard to offer your body as a living sacrifice, isn't it? You know, as you read that scripture just a moment ago, you probably think, what does that mean? How do you really live your life in such a way that worship is part of all of it? It's much easier to go to church to worship, isn't it, and then live our lives. But it seems what Scripture is saying is that our lives, the whole of our lives, is what God is interested in. Yeah, He wants us to be in worship, as we often think about it, but not because that in and of itself is what He wants. He wants our lives to be worship. I think God's got a sense of humour. I just want to tell you this story about a friend of mine who is a worship leader. His name's Barry, and I think he learned recently a lesson about this, which I just want to share with you because I think it's so helpful. Here's this worship leader, Barry, in the gym at lunchtime at work, and he's on the treadmill running, and he's got his headphones on. He's listening to music, his favourite music, which is worship music. And as he was on this treadmill, he was telling me some guys came into the gym and started on the treadmills next to him. And one of them called out in quite a loud voice, "What are you listening to?" And Barry couldn't hear him, so he took one of the earpieces out and said, "Pardon?" And the guy said, "What are you listening to?" And as this guy asked him that question, Barry told me, he said he had 10 seconds of silence that felt like 3 hours, where he thought, what do I do now? Do I answer him or not? Do I tell him the truth? Because he was listening to worship music, and he immediately thought, if I tell this guy, who as far as he knew never went to church or anything, if I tell him I'm listening to worship music, well, what's he going to think? And I work with this guy, I see him every day, so I really don't want to look an idiot. And as he was thinking that, Barry told me, it was like God whispered in his ear and said, just tell him the truth. So Barry said to him, he said, well, I'm listening to worship music. And the guy said, well, is that like hymns and songs and all that kind of thing? And Barry said, well, I guess, kind of like that. Yeah, but it's not quite that, but it's that kind of thing. And then another guy that was there, the other guy said, you're a church person, are you? He said, well, I'm involved in a parent-teachers group, he said, and we're linked with the church. He said, but lots of the church people never come. I wish they would. It'd be great to meet some of those people. And then the first guy said to me, he said, I'm interested in all that kind of thing. And then another guy who was a Muslim began to ask questions about the Christian faith. And Barry was then able to talk about our church and the vision it has for connecting with people outside of church. And then another guy joined in. And before long, there was Barry in the gym talking to 4 people who never go to church about really what it means to be a Christian. And I think God's got a real sense of humour, because here's Barry, he's a great guy, a worship leader. And I think what God was teaching him in a deep way through that experience was that, worship leading, it is about music and helping people to express our worship in song to God. But also, far more importantly, it's about how you make yourself available to people when you're in the gym. How you respond to their question, how you connect with those people that just begin to open a door of opportunity for you to take. Let me just say something, if I can, for a moment. You see, sometimes we complicate this thing too much. We think I'm going to do my church life and my me life and my other people life. But if we do join it together, if we recognise that God isn't just in the church, but God is among the people that we're among, we could do something much more simple than think, how do I go and get them? Let me suggest this to you. Why not find something that you really enjoy doing? A sport, an activity, a recreation, whatever. Find something you really enjoy doing and go and do it. But as you do it, take Jesus with you.